Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn Wilson and welcome to my home. And I have my coffee. So Wawa coffee. Many of you have said, what's a Wawa? A Wawa is a fast food fast food establishment, kind of like a Sheetz, a 7-Eleven, where you can get subs, sandwiches, and go to the kiosk and order food. They have a gas station. Good coffee, pumpkin spice coffee. The best way to drink Wawa coffee, though, is to have a straw. So you use your stir as a straw. That's the way to enjoy it. So I want to just chit-chat just for a brief time tonight on, does it really matter? You know, it's a question that I've been kind of come to the realization that it does matter. Let me show you something. Oh, look at this cake. Notice something's missing. Yeah, a couple of pieces are missing. Does this cake really matter? It does. Let me tell you why. Okay, so I have been off camera for a few days, and some of you know why, and many of you probably don't, but my dad passed away. My dad passed away 4 days ago. And so we have been, many of you, praying for him, and it's been a tough road, and the last couple of weeks have been tremendously hard on the family. My sisters have come out to help my mom and my dad, and needless to say, it was time for him to be with the Lord. And the Lord called him home at 9:40 a.m. And, you know, as much as you know it's coming, as much as you know it's the time is near, you can grieve certain levels of certain things, but when the shoe drops, you just, I don't care how much you've been prepared to know that it's going to happen. It's final. He's, you know, had his last breath. It's final. There is no way to return. There's no way to reverse it. This is it. And I'm sure many of you have had your own loved ones or a good friend or pass away, and you know what that feels like. But when it's your mom and your dad, it's a whole nother level of disconnect. And yesterday my oldest son was away for a conference with his church when my dad passed away, and his poppy was like a second dad to him. And I'll share that on another video, and some of the things that my dad did. But for my son to be away from home and away from, you know, us, and I had to call him on the phone and say, you know, this is what happened. And he couldn't get home right away, he was out of state. And so he came over yesterday, and we were taking care of a few things for my mom, and we were walking through the rooms. And as much as my dad hadn't been in the house for about 6 weeks, he had been in the hospital and then in rehab. You just kind of, I guess, knew that he was there, like, even though he wasn't in the house. But now he wasn't in the home, and he's not here on the earth. And I said to my son, the house is empty. There was a difference. And there was a quietness that, you know, we've not experienced there before. And someone asked me today, how you doing? And I said, it's still a shock. It's still, I mean, I knew it was coming. It's still a shock. I'm still a little numb. I'm grieving in bursts of moments, but I said, I think the hardest thing is that I feel is lonely. There's a loneliness about me, and there's a piece of my heart that isn't there anymore. It's gone. It's with my dad. My dad had a big chunk of my heart. My dad was my cheerleader. My dad was my #1 fan, next to my daughter-in-law. My dad was the one that told me I can do it. My dad always had faith in me when no one else did. But I wanted to tell you something that we're learning through the process. I'm learning to grieve. I'm learning to, I'm going to share with you some things later on how I'm drawing strength from my grieving process. How am I doing that? I'm learning how to understand that it's not all about me. I lost my dad, But my 2 boys and my daughter-in-law, they lost their poppy. They lost their grandfather. And my husband lost his father-in-law, who was like a dad to him. And my mom lost her husband. And my sisters lost their dad too. So, sometimes we get caught up in the, what you're going through. You're grieving. And I'm not making any less of that. You do need to grieve, and you need to heal, and you need to process and all that. But I think for me, it has helped me to realize my kids lost their grandfather, and my mom lost her husband. And it's not just about my grief. There's others in our family, our dynamic, that I need to be aware of. At least be aware of it. And it helps me quite a bit. So I want to ask you a question. Does it really matter? What am I talking about? Well, short and sweet and to the point is, do the little things that we do for others matter? And yeah, they do. And, I've done things for years. Bake a cake for someone, make a homemade loaf of bread, made a pan of ziti, brought it over, send a card, give a gift card, bring flowers, pop over with a balloon, box of candy, write a note, send a text, send an email, do something on Facebook Messenger, all this stuff. And there's many times like the Lord will lay someone on my heart, and I just, I need to share. And, I need to pray, or, I need to send a note, or you haven't connected with them in a while. Let me do something special for them. And I think sometimes I do it because I have a servant's heart, and I just do it because I just know I need to do it. The Lord lays someone on my heart, I need to reach out. And sometimes it's a little thing like a card or a note, and sometimes it's maybe a meal or bag of groceries, different levels of things for different times. And sometimes I wonder, does it really matter? Does what I do really matter? Would it make a difference if I didn't do it? You ever have that kind of feeling, like you just think, is my little card going to make a difference? Is my little whatever going to make a difference? Well, let me go back to this. You can see we've enjoyed it. Smells so good. This was from a volunteer where I work. Don't know her all that well, and I can't say that she knows me all that well. But she came in to my job today and said she was sorry, gave me a beautiful card, and that, that I lost my dad. And she said, I just knew that God told me I needed to do this. And it blew my mind that someone that doesn't really know me, that I don't really know. I mean, we see each other, we're sort of acquaintances, but we don't really know each other. I know nothing about her family. I don't even know if she's married or not married or widowed, or I know nothing. But she knew she needed to do this. Did it matter? Does it really matter that she made me a chocolate cake? Yeah, it mattered. I'll tell you. She gave me a smile, a sense of peace, a sense of joy. It was the end of my day. It was almost the end of my shift. And my coworker, I was working in a different office on the campus, and my coworkers called me and said, you have a visitor. A visitor, really? And, I was working, fortunately this week I'm working in a different office where it's a little bit more low-keyed, and I was just counting my blessings. You just don't feel like you love everybody. Thank you so much for your sympathies, but you just don't want the hugs, and I'm sorry, and I'm not ready to sort through all that right now. Just let me do my job and leave me alone is how I'm feeling. And I thought, who's coming to visit? And she walked in, and I thought, that can't be my visitor. I don't really know her. I don't really have any connection. And here she comes walking in with a chocolate cake. And she said, I made this for you. And I hope you enjoy it. And I'm really sorry about your dad. And she left. That was it. And I came home and I said to my husband, we got a cake. Did it matter? It did matter. It did matter. Do you do things for people and you wonder if it matters? Let me tell you, it matters. Here's the other things that matter. Cards. We got gift cards. We've gotten letters. We've gotten cards in the mail. We've gotten sympathy cards and notes of encouragement. You know, note after note after note with beautiful sentiments on the inside. Somebody today gave us a gift card that we can put towards something. This was so cool. My mom wants to, in lieu of flowers and things like that, we're going to have a memorial service in about a month, but she said that you can donate either to the veterans, which I think is great because my dad was a veteran and they really did a lot for my dad toward the end, or you can donate money and she will send it to the Gideons, and the Gideons then will buy Bibles and they will place them in jails and hotels and other places that request Bibles. So let me just do this so I cover up who it was donated by to respect them. But here you go. So 4 Bibles were donated in memory of Alan Cameron, which is my dad. And friends of ours donated 4 Bibles, and they sent us a card. And the card on the back tells you where you can and how you can send a Bible in honor or in memory of someone. How cool. And they didn't know. They had no idea that that's what my mom really wanted to do with the money. And, you know, does it matter? Does it matter? Does this matter? Yes, it matters. Some of you knew that my dad passed because I had posted it on my Resume of a Mother Facebook page, which connects to my blog. And I got some nice messages there, and some of you have reached out already via email and sent me nice notes, and I got a couple cards in the mail already from some of you that I guess looked up my address in the description, and I got a couple cards from some of you, and I thank you for that. And I have a pile of cards. I actually need to go through it and read them. It's just been a whirlwind. Thursday he passed. We gathered the family, sat and stared at walls, because what else do you do? And Friday we had to go to the funeral home and sign off on the final paperwork. And that's sort of weird. Like, I never had to do that before, and just kind of left you with that feeling. And then Saturday was like the first day of non-activity. You know, Thursday he passed and it was crazy, and Friday was the funeral home, and then there was Saturday. Now what do we do? He's not here. What do we need to do? You couldn't think. Sunday we went to church with my mom to keep her company at her church, and went to visit, and everybody was very kind there, and you know, everybody's offering sympathy and offering things, and you know, it's just kind of overwhelming. But I said to my husband, does it matter? Does a chocolate cake matter? Oh my goodness, that chocolate cake mattered. Does a gift card matter? Yes, it matters. Does a card matter? Yes. Text messages we've received, emails we've received, phone calls, letters in the mail. I mean, the list goes on and on. Does it matter? Yes. I had a friend who I haven't connected with in a long time. Months. We don't live that far apart, but, you know, life takes over. We're both busy raising kids and having husbands and being involved in whatever. And she reached out to me. She said, how you doing? I said, oh, Dad's not well, and, you know, it's probably winding down for him to go home with the Lord. And she said to me, can I make you dinner? And I've learned, I make dinner for others. I do for others. I love doing for others. I love it. I find joy, a great satisfaction in doing for others. But don't do it to me. I don't know how to handle it. And I had somebody say to me, don't rob that person of their joy. If God has laid it on their heart to do something for you, accept it. It's easy to give it, but it's not easy to accept it. So I said to her, you know what? I'm learning to say thank you and to be grateful. And that's exactly what I had to do with her. And she said, well, this was on Monday. And she said, well, I have this night, and this night that I can do it. So I said, I don't know. I said, how about Thursday? She said, okay, sounds good. So there's, 3 of us at the house. And so then I messaged her on Monday night. And I said, now that I think about it, we'll probably be at my mother's. I could pick it up at your house, or how do you want to do that? Because we won't be home for you to bring it over here. And she said, no, bring it to your mom's. And she knows there's 3 of us, so, and she probably figured my mom, which would make 4. Well, there was my sister and her husband and the kids, and we had family popping in and out. One of those deals, you know how it is. Little did she know that when she would deliver it Thursday night, that would have been the night my dad passed, or the day. And here she comes rolling in with enough food to feed about 80 people. And there were 8 of us that night. I mean, when I say 80 people, she had it catered. We had trays and trays of food. I'll put some pictures at the end. And she said, there's plenty here. Well, not only did we feed each other 2 dinners and a lunch out of this, all of us, and we had plenty to eat, I boxed it up and I froze it for meals for later on. And when she came, she had no idea he had passed one night, right before my dad passed, and family popped in, and we, you know, it was the 5 loaves and 2 fishes. We had 3 pizzas, 2 salads that she, you know, it was divine appointment, met her in the grocery store, and she said, I want to send you guys pizza. I'll send it Saturday. And we had no idea family was going to pop in. And trust me, we had more family than 3 pizzas could handle. But 3 pizzas not only stretched, I don't know how it did, we had leftovers. And God just blessed it and spread that. And then another night, we're at the funeral home, I'm like, oh, you know, just thinking about dinner, what are we going to do? And I get a text message from a coworker. By the way, such and such a restaurant, 6 o'clock, go pick up your dinner. I'm thinking it's a pizza. It was dinner. It was several dinners, like big dinners, enough to feed the 5,000 again, with leftovers that are in the freezer. We had a hot meal that night, the whole family, plus extra in the freezer, that a coworker would think that much of me to do that. And then another text message from someone else saying, a group of us got together and they sent us a DoorDash gift card. Doesn't matter. Let me tell you, it matters. You don't have to spend money. You can write a card, send a text, do an email, send a messenger, make a phone call. You know, tough times like this, phone calls aren't the best. You don't feel like talking. Send a meal, send a cake, send a chocolate cake. Send a chocolate cake. You know, send a meal. Send flowers. We had someone send us a bouquet of, what do they call those? Edible arrangements of fruit. And someone else sent us a fruit dipped in chocolate. And people are just thinking of us. I said to my husband, we are so blessed. I feel like I'm suffocating. Like we are blessed. I've had more food given to us, and gift cards and things and cards and letters, and just people have outpoured love. And the best thing is this: at the very end of my day, my shift, again the phone rings and they said, don't leave, somebody's on their way to see you. This friend of mine is on vacation. When I'm on vacation, I don't want to see anybody I work with. But she came on her day off, vacation day off, to come to see me, to give me a sympathy card and a gift. And she said, I just wanted to tell you the impact your family has had on my life. And I said, oh, I know, my dad, special man, and, you know. No. She said, not to take away from your dad, but your entire family has had an impact on my life. Your mom, your dad. And she went on to explain how they've impacted her life. She said, you and your husband. And she, again, named us by name and said what we've done to impact her life. And my oldest son and my youngest son and my daughter-in-law and my 2 sisters and their husbands and their kids. And she knows my entire family. And we all serve in ministry in one way or another. And we've all served where I currently work in different, over a different time period. Anyway, beside the point, she said, you need to know, I can't tell you enough how much of an impact. And she's not an emotional person, and she got emotional, which kind of threw me. And she said, you need to know your family has made a difference in my life. And I'm going to get through this. I am. Does it matter? Does what you do matter? Yes, it matters. If I can encourage you to leave a legacy of your own life, of doing for others. My dad did. He raised us to do that. It matters. That chocolate cake matters. That card matters. That phone call matters. That email matters. When someone has lost a loved one, it matters. When someone has a bad day, it matters. When someone needs TLC just because, it matters. When someone's feeling blue, it matters. When someone's having a great day and you bring them a chocolate cake on top of a great day, it matters. It matters when you send a gift card just because I'm thinking of you. It matters, it matters, it matters. Go out today and start to make a difference in someone's life. Make it matter. Be in a situation that somebody can say, you have no idea what that meant to me. Yes, it matters what you do. Thanks for being here for me. Thanks for letting me share. Thanks for letting me get through this and sharing with you on the loss of my dad. He's in a better place. I know that I know that I know. He's in glory, walking the streets of gold. With his Lord and Savior. And I know that for sure. If you have any questions about anything that I'm sharing on the faith side of where I come from, I can encourage you to read John 3:16 in the Bible. And that would be a good place to start. You can leave me a message. You can email me. I'd be glad to share with you. If you need a Bible and you don't have a Bible, you let me know. I will get you a Bible. Nobody should be without a Bible. If you cannot get one or can't afford one, I will make sure you get a Bible. So again, thank you for being here. More videos to come. Thanks for being patient with me. We'll talk to you soon.